someone who was mixed with African and Native American ancestry in early colonized America would not always be classified as Native. In fact, they were often denied Native identity and instead classified as Black, Negro, Mulatto, or even free person of color, especially depending on the time, period, region, and colonial power involved. Here's why. Number 1. Colonial governments created racial categories, not tribes. Europeans didn't care about tribal affiliation. They cared about race and control. So if someone was part African, they was often classified as Black by default, even if they had a Native mother or was raised in a Native community. This came from things like the one-drop rule. If you had any Black ancestry, you were considered Black. Laws of hypodescent. You were legally assigned to the lower status group, which meant Black over Native. Tribes themselves had different views. Some tribes welcomed people of mixed ancestry, especially if they was raised in the culture. Others were pressured by colonizers to adopt blood quantum rules, which excluded people with too much African ancestry. So depending on the tribe, someone could be fully accepted as Native, partially recognized, or totally rejected. Colonial records erased Native identity. Census takers, slave owners, and government officials often ignored self-identity and wrote down what they thought a person looked like. So someone who was raised in a Native village, spoke a Native language, and had a Native parent might still be listed in the records as Negro, Black, or Mulatto because of their skin tone. Real examples. The Lumbee in North Carolina. Many Lumbee people have African, Native, and European ancestry. For generations, they were denied recognition and often listed as free persons of color. Even today, some people challenge their identity due to the mixed heritage, despite deep roots in tribal traditions. The Narragansett, New England. During colonization, many Native people intermarried with Africans. Colonial records reclassified entire communities as Black, stripping them of tribal status in legal terms, even though they maintained Native culture. So long story short, a person of African and Native American ancestry, or a person who is just Native but Black passing, would not always be classified as Native, especially under colonial systems that prioritize racial hierarchy and control. But in many cases, they were still culturally Native, lived in Native communities, and maintained Native identity despite official classification. So over time, these mixed-race Black natives, or Black passing natives, became absorbed into the majority non-Native Black population. And this happened for a number of reasons. Racism, laws, loss of tribal recognition, and social survival. These people didn't stop being Native. They were legally and socially reclassified as only Black or colored, often against their will. Stay tuned to part 2 where I go into more details about this history.